Hey double dip babes, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be recreating nails from Cardi B using products from Double Dip Nails. I do already have my practice hand prepped and ready for the nail enhancement application. For this video, I am going to be using some products from the Mini Luxe Gel Tip Kit from Double Dip Nails. This kit does include the full cover coffin clear nail tips to adhere to your natural nails. It also includes the mini UV LED nail lamp to cure the nails into place, as well as the 4-in-1 base coat gel. This is a very thick gel to adhere the nail tips to your natural nails, but for this video I'm going to be adhering the nail tips using clear poly gel. I have already picked out all of these sizes of my jelly tips to fit my practice hand. Do make sure if you are in between sizes to size up just so you have enough room to place the poly gel inside of the nail tip. You do not want the nail tip to be too small. You also want to make sure that these perfectly fit your nails, so if the cuticle area doesn't match, you do want to file it to perfectly match your own cuticle shape. So when applying nail tips with this method, you may want to file the inside of the jelly tip just to make sure that the poly gel properly adheres to the nail tip and you don't have any issues with the nail tip popping off. Because these nail tips are gel, you should not have that issue. These nail tips should adhere very well to the poly gel even if you don't file the inside. So to apply your nail tips using clear poly gel, you just want to apply a small bead of the poly gel at the cuticle area of the full cover nail tip. Once you have the clear poly gel applied to the nail tip, you want to go ahead and start applying it to your nail. For this method, we are following the same step to apply the nail tip as you would the 4-in-1 base coat gel. So we are starting at the cuticle area of the nail and we're going to slowly push down until the nail tip is in the perfect position. You do want to make sure that the nail tip goes from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want to have any gaps on the sides of your nail. Do make sure that the poly gel fully covers the entire nail bed of your natural nail. You do not want to have any gaps or air bubbles in between your natural nail and the nail tip. Once the nail tip is in the perfect position, if you have any poly gel spill out, you want to take a cleanup brush and some rubbing alcohol just to remove the poly gel from your skin before you cure. So this step is optional, but I am taking a clear poly gel clip and I'm applying this at the cuticle area of the nail just because there was a little bit of air bubbling and I wanted to make sure that I cured this nail on properly. Again, this step is optional. Once the nail tip is in the correct position, I am going to go ahead and turn the UV LED nail lamp on and cure for a full minute. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process for all of the other nails. I personally think that this method of application for full cover nail tips is much easier than the normal jelly tip method. So if you do tend to struggle with the application of jelly tips, I definitely would recommend that you try this one. Sometimes working with the 4-in-1 base coat can be a little bit tricky. You may have the gel spill out from around the nail tip, or it doesn't quite stay in the correct position when you go to cure, and basically the poly gel eliminates both of those issues and makes it super easy and simple for beginners. It also takes about the exact same time to place the nail tip as well, so this method is just as quick as the normal jelly tip application. If you apply too much poly gel to the nail tip and you experience a lot of overflow at the free edge of your natural nail, you do want to go ahead and take a poly gel brush dipped in some rubbing alcohol and just smooth it out or remove the excess poly gel before you cure. Personally, I did decide to skip that step for this application because I am just working on my practice hand, so I did want to be pretty quick for this application. But if you are doing this on yourself or other people, I would definitely recommend to remove or at least smooth out the poly gel underneath the nail. Once all of the nails have been cured into place, I am going to take some nail tip cutters and just cut off the corners of these nail tips because I am changing the shape to a stiletto nail shape. I didn't have straight edge nail clippers, so I am just using my cuticle clippers for this step. If you do want to reshape these nails, you don't have to clip it off as I'm doing. This is just going to save me a lot of time when using the hand file. I'm then taking a 100 grit hand file and I'm going to go ahead and file the sides of the nail tip. Again, I am reshaping these nails into a sharp stiletto nail shape. I am going to go ahead and reshape all of the other nails as well. I am just following the exact same steps that I did for the pinky. I do show the ring fingernail on camera, but I do end up skipping the rest of the nails just because this step is very repetitive. So here are the nails after they've all been reshaped into stiletto nails. Before doing the next step, you may want to take a buffer and just remove the shine of the nail tips so that your gel polish can properly adhere. I am just skipping that step, so I'm going straight in with my Bella Vena super white gel polish. This is a super pigmented white gel. I'm going to be using this to paint over all of the nails. This gel polish has a really good consistency. It is not too thick and it is not runny. Like I said, it is also very pigmented, so you don't have to do more than 2 layers of this polish. Like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and paint a layer of this onto all of the nails. For this celebrity inspired nail look, I am recreating nails from Cardi B. She had these nails on in December of 2021. I actually really wanted to do some Cardi B nails, but I do know that she really loves to do super blinged out nails. I didn't have any huge rhinestones or a ton of them to use for this manicure, so I was pretty limited for the nail designs that I could recreate from Cardi B, but I did come across these and I thought they were actually really unique, and I haven't done anything like this before, so I did decide to recreate this for today's video. But these nails are much shorter than Cardi B's. One thing you may want to do when applying gel polish to your nails is before you cure the layer of gel polish, take your finger and run it along the edge of the nail just to remove any of the excess polish. This is what's going to keep the perfect nail shape that you've already created. Once I cleaned the sides of the nail, I did go ahead and cure for a full minute under the UV LED nail lamp. I'm going to go ahead and do a second layer of the super white gel polish to all of the nails. I am doing a second layer just to make sure I have the perfect color opacity for all of the nails. Once I apply the second layer of the white gel polish, again I did go ahead and do a full cure under the nail lamp. Once the nails are fully cured, I am taking a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol and I'm just going to remove the sticky layer of the ring fingernail. I am doing this because I don't want to have to apply a matte gel top coat before doing the nail art, but that sticky layer does kind of ruin your nail art sometimes, so I wanted to go ahead and remove it before doing the nail art. To recreate Cardi B's nail look, I am taking the black gel liner from Double Dip Nails. This is from the first gel liner collection. I went ahead and removed all of the excess polish from the brush. You basically don't want any polish on the brush at all. You want to try to get as thin of lines as possible, and to do this you want to remove all of the polish from the brush. I did put my practice hand in a different position so I can easily do these straight lines. I'm just starting at the cuticle area and I'm doing a straight line going all the way down to the free edge of the nail. I am going to be doing multiple lines for this checkerboard nail art. When doing this type of design, you want to try to keep these lines as evenly spaced out as possible. This nail art is actually extremely difficult in my opinion. You have to have a very steady hand and be very even with all of the lines that you do. Otherwise, this nail design is going to look very crooked. Once I finish with the vertical lines, I'm going to turn my practice hand and go ahead and do the horizontal lines as well. With these lines, you do want to try to keep it as even with the nail as possible. You do not want this pattern to be crooked on your nail. You also want to try to create perfectly shaped squares for each of these lines. So trying to keep a really good even space is very important for this nail design. I'll be extremely honest, this nail art was very difficult for me. I actually redid this grid for the checkerboard nail art probably like 2 or 3 different times. My lines kept looking very crooked and I did not like how it was looking, so I'd wipe it off and redo it again. This single nail took me longer than the Care Bear nail art that I did a few videos back. Believe it or not, this was much more difficult for me than the Care Bear. So once we have the grid done, I'm going to go ahead and start filling in some of these squares. For the checkered board design, you want to skip a block for every other block. So one block is white and one block is black, and that just alternates throughout the entire nail. For filling in all of these boxes, I initially did not worry about going all the way to the guidelines that I've already done on the nail. I just wanted to make sure I did not mess up coloring the wrong blocks. So for this, I'm just getting the base of the color in the center of the block. I did go ahead and do this to the entire nail. If you guys are wanting to recreate this checkerboard nail art, but you are a beginner or you want something a little bit less time consuming, you can actually do the same design but do the boxes a lot bigger. That will be a lot less time consuming and easier if you are a beginner. I actually didn't quite realize how small these boxes actually were until I went to fill them in, and I just realized how long this was actually gonna take. Realistically, it took me about 25 minutes only for the nail art of this nail. Once I have all of the boxes slightly filled in, I am going to go back and start touching up each of the squares just to make sure I don't have any white areas inside of the black boxes, and to try to get these squares as even and filled out as possible. This is honestly the part that probably took me the longest to do. It is very time consuming, and you do want to make sure to stay in the lines and get it as even and as perfect as possible. So this part of the nail design was extremely time consuming. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and touch up all of the other squares on the nail. There was a point where I had some black gel on one of the white boxes, so to remove this, I'm just taking a lint-free wipe and using the tiny corner of that wipe, I'm just going to very gently rub it on the white part until I remove the black gel. You want to be very careful if you have to do this. You can also lightly wet the corner of the lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol if it doesn't seem to want to come off. I'm just going to continue and finish up this nail design. So this checkerboard is not perfect at all, but this is the absolute best I could do at this moment. So once I have the checkerboard as good as I can get it, I did go ahead and do a full cure under the nail lamp. For the thumbnail, I'm just going to go ahead and paint it white as well. I actually put off doing the thumbnail to last for some reason. In the inspo pic from Cardi B's nails, she actually has the checkerboard on the thumbnail as well, but there was no way that I was going to sit and do another checkered nail. That would take way too long, so I ended up just leaving this nail white. Again, I'm going to cure that layer and do a second layer of the white gel. Once I finished with the second layer of the white gel on the thumb, I did go ahead and do a full cure. Last but not least, I am taking the top coat gel from one of the polygel kits. This does come in all of the polygel kits, so I will link my favorite one down below. I'm just going to apply this top coat gel to all of the nails. I really love the consistency of this top coat. It is not too thick and it's not runny, so it's not going to be flooding your cuticles. This is also a non-white top coat, so you do not have the inhibition layer that you have to remove after the nails are cured. After applying the top coat gel, I did go ahead and do a full cure under the UV LED nail lamp, and here are the nails. I think these are really cute. They are pretty simple for what I usually do. Let me know what you think of this nail design down below in the comments. Do make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, you can click the boxes and subscribe to Double Dip's YouTube channel by clicking the circle here. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel by clicking the circle here.